Hello, everyone. A very warm day to you and have a great weekend to you. I hope your day has been going great. I am Becky Osoro. It's the time of the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Next News Protocol. So we discuss trending and interesting political topics. Joining me on set to have this conversation today is King Sujalo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy all we have for you on this beautiful segment. Welcome back to the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Next News Protocol. It's a pleasure having you on set, Jalo.
Thank you so much,
Have a
Becky.
great weekend.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing great.
Of course.
Was the traffic really hectic for you when you were coming?
As usual, you know, due to construction, just as usual.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hectic. But I believe anytime soon there will be a difference.
It's a reduced,
Of
right?
course, of
okay.
course.
Thank you so much. Let's head straight to the storyline for today. Federal government makes tax ID mandatory for Nigerians to use bank accounts from January 2026. Okay, the federal government has announced that the tax identification number, TIN, will become mandatory for Nigerians to operate bank accounts starting January 2026. The policy is aimed at expanding the tax base, improving revenue collection, and strengthening financial accountability. A tax ID, okay, is how the government knows who is earning, who is paying tax, and who is not. And then a taxable person is anyone who earns income through trade, business, or any economic activity.
Yeah.
So banks must request a tax ID from taxable persons, okay? And then they said individuals like students, okay, are really not part of this.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a welcome development? Looking at the situation happening in our country, they're coming up with, they're implementing things that are going to be so shocking for the people.
Indeed, if I was really, let's be specific, it is indeed
It's a
a
good
welcome.
idea.
It is a good idea
Okay.
in aspect of getting revenues and tax easily. It's a
Okay.
good one from the government.
Yeah.
And this is something that has been in existence in so many countries. You understand? So I think Nigeria being exempted would have been a good thing. So it's a good one.
Okay.
Countries like Canada,
Okay.
China, countries like South Africa, countries like other developed, even the US, including the US. They've been really be dealing on this aspect
Okay.
in order to take a taxation and thereabout. So Nigeria being exempted wouldn't have been a good one. But the sudden news of
Okay.
Restricting accounts of those who have not gotten the TIN ID January 1st 2026. I think it's quite.
Did you say restricting accounts, like at the now or before?
No, from the news, for those who they've given them time from now till January.
Okay.
So for those who have not acquired or gotten their own ID, the account will be restricted. That is for business people who ought to be paying
Anyone
tax.
who does business,
Yes,
and
but
then you have a bank account.
I think it's too quick. You understand? Adequate notice should be given. You understand? Because right now in the country like Nigeria, a lot of people don't even have idea about this TIN tax ID and thereabout. So
Okay.
it's now left for the government to really make proper arrangement, proper announcement, and go into different locations in order to make people to be aware, because this will really cause mass destruction in terms of finance. People having access to their own banks if that implementation is taken from next year, January 1st of January 2026. So the government
do you think it's a short duration? The
of
time
course,
for now
it's
till
so
January
short.
1st.
It's so short. Yes, it has been implemented since 2020. We all know that. But if you look at it, even I personally didn't even take note of it. You understand? So I'm not even aware, didn't even have an IQ about it. So also many people, so also many individuals, many citizens, they are not even aware, and probably it might from the big sectors in Nigeria
more
might be
awareness should be made to
more
the
awareness
public.
should be made from the. I think this should start from the banking sector themselves.
Okay.
They should make this, they should make it alarming to their customers.
Okay.
You understand? The
Maybe
TV,
via SMS.
exactly.
Gmail.
Exactly.
Okay.
The radio stations thereabout. This should be a full operation on for people to have clear awareness about this thing and explain to them, or else there will be a devastated chaos in this aspect. So the government should really make it alarming and really put it, and there should be an extension on this program so that people will be able to carry on the implementation without chaos.
Okay, so let's head on to the second story.
Okay.
The Supreme Court has overturned the pardon granted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to an Abuja-based housewife, Miriam Sand. Of course, we know the story
Yes.
behind this. Yeah, okay. You know, her sentence to 12 years of granting a presidential pardon to Figo, like Sir Herbert Macaulay and every other person. But unfortunately, in a judgment delivered on Friday, the Supreme Court, in a 4-1 split decision, affirmed the death sentence originally handed down by the Court of Appeal in Abuja. So do you think that's a welcome development because she committed murder?
Well, you know, murder is also a part of crime. You understand? It's a crime that really strict judgment, and we are talking about, you know, something that pertains to domestic violence that led to the death of her husband. For them, we're talking about her husband. You understand? First of all, I want to ask, you know, even if she's relieved, that even if that pardon had worked, how will she feel, you know, living for the rest of her life, you know, seeing that
like the trauma, and is that what you're trying to say?
You understand? I'm not saying, you know, death sentence, you know, I'm not with the death sentence judgment given to her, but if you look at it, it's crime, and, you know, I believe it, you know, such crime in the Constitution definitely require death sentence.
Okay.
Now, the president recently pardoned her, reducing her sentence, I think, to 21 years imprisonment.
To 12 years.
12 years, thank you. 12 years imprisonment, whereby, you know, Justice More Ademi has also renounced it and saying that she must face the death sentence. Now, this should you know sound a vow or a strict warning to, you know, couples. You know, I don't want to put it that way. That look, whatever domestic violence you're having doesn't warrant you killing your partner or thereabouts. You understand? I think it should sound a clear warning to them. And in the aspect of
judiciary, when we look at, you know, judiciary and the Constitution,
in the
so we're going to say like the judgment is fair enough. Is that what the people are expecting?
If you look at it, there are a lot of people who has been given such judgments in that aspect. There are a lot of persons
who they've done the same thing.
Yes, and it will not be fair. It will not be fair if, you know, that pardon is released, given to this Sani in loan, and others are, you know, are being given that death sentence. You know, there will be a partiality. I think this is what the justice right now is saying. You understand? Fine, the president give pardon, but, you know, the president, you know, giving pardon, she also, you know, really look at crimes.
You know, when we look at that story, if you have to trace back and know exactly what happened to the story.
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't so intentional, so that's the reason why it was pardoned to 12 years.
Yes. From the look of things, I think one of the reasons why the president gave pardon because of our children and thereabouts. We all know that, but we should, you know, from what the judge is trying to put, just like I said, you know, it's going to be an unfair thing where others are being passed sentence and the sentence takes action while she is spared. I think this is what the judge is also the justice is also looking at here. Okay. So for the sentence given to her, you know, I think should I use the word, she should take it in good faith, or and also the public should learn from this. You understand? Taking the life of someone during domestic violence is domestic violence, or you know, during internal disputes is not the solution to settle
anything
something.
That has to be murder is not acceptable.
Exactly.
So
regardless
if it is domestic violence or anything.
So I think the law should take its course.
Thank you so much. It's still the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Nest Port Harcourt. I am Becky Osaro, still here on set with me is King Zajalo. When we return to bring to you the details on Turaki says confirms PDP in talks with Jonathan Peter Obi. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Nest Port Harcourt. I am Becky Osaro, still here on set with me is King Zajalo. I hope you're having a great time with us. The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Kabiru Tanimu Turaki-san, has stated that despite the expulsion of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Yesom Wiki, and his loyalists from the party, he still regards the former Rivers State governor as a friend. He dismissed the ongoing speculation of, reconciliation, saying internal discipline must be respected. He also confirmed that the PDP is holding consultations with former President Goodluck Jonathan and Labour parties, PDP, as part of a broader effort to strengthen opposition unity ahead of future elections. He described the talk as strategic engagement aimed at rebuilding the party and repositioning it for national relevance. What do you have to say to the story?
First of all, Turaki made a very clear statement. You know, despite the internal dispute, that doesn't mean, you know,
you're my enemy.
You are my enemies and stuff like that. You know, one or two heads could also be brought together in order to. But looking at the aspect of involving Obi and the lives of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, you understand. Currently, the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has not really cleared the public which political party he belongs. So you're trying to involve Peter Obi in this scenario. It's like, because you could recall where the FCT minister talked about
like
you
he said, consultations.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I just want you to share your idea with me.
Your idea and stuff like that.
That will help my party to bring, you know, stability and peace to come together.
That's what I'm driving at. Because it's like trying to call people who are not, how will I put it, are not the party friendlies, you know, for this consultation. Because the life of Nyesom Wike have said that Peter will be involving in the party will cause so many destabilization and stuff like that. So it's like you're trying to call, I'm referring to Peter Obi right now.
But it's not just Peter Obi, he spoke with Goodluck.
No, Goodluck Jonathan in this case might not really have any.
Why? Because he's a former president.
Because he's the former president, and if you look at currently in his current state, I think he's still in the PDP. You understand?
Okay.
It's still in the PDP. So definitely, if there should be anybody you're calling for consultation, I think just the former president is enough and is the consultative one for this consultation. Now, in the aspect of PDP right now, you understand, in his interview, I really went through his interview, and in most of his statement he's saying, in the aspect of Nyesom Wike, saying the fact that you are one of the founders of the party, and despite, you know, when you are suspended, you'll be suspended to the court because you are trying to break rules that will affect, you understand, the party
unity
system
of the party.
Exactly. But, you know, undermining that, Nyesom Wike still disagree with that suspension and claiming rightful owner, you know, of the party. So what I think the PDP, you know, should do currently, consulting anybody, the former president, it's a good one. But also, they should be able to place, you know, how would they say it now? They should be able to place a disciplinary, you know, committee that will be able to drive or push those who are anti-party engagement in this political party system, because it has been the major problem they are having, you understand? Because right now, if you look at the party of the PDP, no one trusts themselves. Even the president of the new chairman of the party too, he doesn't really know who is who, you understand? Looking at the defecting of the governor of Rivers State, the defecting of some other high-profile governors in the governor. So it shows that definitely there is something in that party system that is really triggering others to move to the All Progressive Party or other political party in the country. So it's for you to know your momentum and be able to that is clear out those things that will cause more hindrances, because we must accept the fact that PDP is one of the most buoyant party in this country that shouldn't have such a crisis.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on set, King Sajalo.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. That's our show for today. Citizens Dialogue on First Nation Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.